Good evening. Welcome to the Monday, July 27th of 2027 meeting of the Kingston City Land Bank's Board of Directors. This public meeting asks that members of the public limit their comments no more than 2 minutes per speaker. My name is Mike. I serve as the meeting's moderator. And with that, I turn it over to our board chair, Mr. Aaron George.
Hello, everybody. I'll start with our roll call and Zoom form. So start in the room and then go to Zoom. So I'm Aaron, I'm a board member. And Joel is board member.
Charlotte Dorman, board member. Sarah Deloto, board member. Rebecca Wilderness, board member.
Zoom.
Barbara Ianides, board member.
Paul Heinz, board member.
The first item, I will entertain a motion to approve the agenda and accept the prior meeting minutes as uploaded to YouTube.
Motion to approve the prior meeting minutes
Accept the agenda.
and accept the agenda as uploaded to YouTube. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. There we go. Board chair announcements. So the update this week is that we had a second home this month, the second home sited, developed created, put on its foundation. So stop by. It's what's the number again?
177.
177 Murray Street. Go take a look. It is there. It's exciting. It's great that it's moving forward. We have a relatively straightforward agenda, except that we have a number of kind of lengthy items to discuss in executive session and a couple of votes in executive session. So confer with Mike point, I think what we should do is kind of do the public, do the meeting that for all the non-executive session items. And then at the end, enter into executive session, do the executive session items, do our votes for the executive session items, come out of executive session, say the votes and adjourn. Because rather than go in and out multiple times. So with that, we will have our first public comments period. And as one of our staff wants to say something, we'll move on to committee reports. And starting with ADC, where Kyle, Mike.
I got my executive director.
I forgot, so I skipped over. Go ahead. Let's see here. Please, Mike.
It's the same thing every month, and so it's kind of easy. same thing, some changes, like a soap opera, but
Give it us.
thanks. Good evening, everyone. My executive director's report, I'm happy to announce, will be relatively brief. Our pipeline number of properties is at 47, slight change from last month, but these are some ins and outs around the conversation with the city around the Article 11 properties. So no change to that ancient but property that we still must pay attention to, which is the vacant lot of 24 Belmont. We had decided to revisit that following the conversation with the city and sort of what our portfolio could look like with the larger conversation on Article 11. So because that conversation is not finished, we will continue to sort of put a pin in that property. Article 19A, 12 Courts, 5400 and 34 Boulevard. We are moving forward with next month to ask the city for a closing date for those properties to purchase them. You had approved doing so in April. We will not be acquiring any properties unless they're vacant. I know that goes without saying, but we've heard some rumors not rumors, we've got statements from next door neighbors that there may be squatters on the properties. So we will resolve that prior to acquiring anything. We will not acquire properties if they are not vacant, which is, I believe, your desire. Following that, as said previously, we anticipate soon thereafter releasing RFPs for cleanouts and stabilization, maybe some tree work, things like that. But the bigger picture item in the context of our pipeline are the Article 11 properties. We are now down to having, based on intents, increasingly focusing more on the properties. We're at 33 properties that we're looking at. 25 of those are 1 or 2 or 3 family in the city of Kingston. 10 of those 25 are located in Midtown. And then there are 8 vacant, what we believe currently to be developable land. The city, the strategy, it's a lot, but it's shrinking every time. Not that we want it to shrink, but we're getting more precise with what we could or could not acquire. The process of what that looks like, as you know, is involving some potential additional funders. So we've agreed that the city will be working towards posting the properties. You may recall this from 111 Downs, where once the property is posted, it cannot be occupied and there can be no claim of tenants' rights related to squatters or anything of that nature. So the city is updating daily, moving towards posting the properties. When the properties are posted, that will help us narrow our focus. So that is the update on the Article 11 conversation. However, in the potential new non-comms driven funding section, coincidentally, HCR has announced a new type of funding round for the LPI funding. Previously, we had received funding that was of the more flexible nature called non-capital. And then we received funding, as did everyone else, because that's what was locked into the budget for capital. HCR has announced a few days ago a non-capital funding round for up to $50,000 to conduct pre-development work. So this ties into our Article 11 pipeline, and this is a motivating force with the city of Kingston to get those properties posted. We're not going to, $50,000 isn't going to get us through all of these properties, but it will help. And the application is open on August 4th and it closes on September 4th. So we have a window to sort of narrow that down. We've talked to HCR. We believe we know how we can apply with a larger list of properties, well, with an accurate list of properties, but if we don't follow through on conducting pre-development on those properties, it is not an issue.
It's 50,000 per unit or
50,000 max.
max? Okay.
That's it. Yeah, if it was 50,000 per
I was
unit,
like, that's insane.
that would be huge.
Yeah, no, okay, that makes more sense.
It's the very small piece of unallocated prior round LBI funding before this year's budget.
Gotcha.
So that's what's being spread around to all of them banks. And we're in a very strong position. We've already spoken with HCR. They're looking forward to our application, but that's the update on that. Similarly, in the LBI world, LBI, happy to report LBI phase 1 year 2022 for $600,000 is now closed out with HCR. So that grant process is closed out. Stacey, I'll forward you the final paperwork, which is meant to be signed earlier today, but I haven't received it yet. So we close out one, we might open another one. Those are the updates on that. For funding in the other category, I'd like everyone to be aware of the fact that there are discussions at the City of Kingston's Finance Committee in this very room about changing the City of Kingston's disposition policy. We have not been asked to participate in those discussions. And the prior version that was posted on the city's website included additional reporting requirements for the Office of Housing Initiatives. However, there have been additional proposed changes to that disposition policy, which have not been posted on the city's website. So, sorry.
Only add it's our understanding that the discussion took place without a lot of common council members knowing what they were discussing. So,
Absolutely. It was introduced at the meeting.
and it ties into something we'll talk about during executive session.
Of course.
Yeah.
Similarly, 457A, the tax abatement for single family homes is still at the City of Kingston's Finance Committee level. So no updates on that. It would benefit our work. We may be asked to participate in that discussion at the finance meeting. I'm not sure exactly where that would go. But those are my updates. Thank you. Welcome.
So committee reports, start with ADC and, where we just are discussing the new home program, because the other item is executive session. So Kyle will pass it off to you to walk us through how the requisitions are coming along for these homes.
Sounds good. Second. Okay, so here's the latest draft requisition status report. See here, we have Recs 11 and 12, one for LBI, one for home, that are pending, should be submitted any day now. Everything is looking good so far. We are over 50% drawn down on the entire project at this point. About half, a little more than halfway drawn on both home and LBI funds. But yeah, progressing smoothly. The requisition process has been going smoothly as well. Happy to answer any questions anyone has, but I think this captures most of what's going on.
Our largest requisition to date, right?
Yes, yes, it will be.
But I'm just thinking. Right.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, thank you, Kyle.
Oh,
Appreciate it.
thanks.
Thanks. Construction updates, as you mentioned, we have set the module at 177 Murray, which is awesome. It's a huge milestone. It was very smoothly executed and according to plan, and the neighbors are happy that there's something next door. I did meet the neighbors across the street at the Los Amigos Church, who are very interested in what we're doing because they too are building modular right across the street. So they're building 4 units. I guess I won't mention the company, but with one of the companies that we interviewed, and they're considering building directly across the street. There's a little triangular lot there. So they're really into what we're doing. They'd like us to come speak during, sales and marketing, which we have dropped off flyers before, but we never got in the door. So now we have phone numbers. And that was really heartening to see. For the purposes of this meeting, those are my updates for construction. I know there's some exciting stuff at other committee levels to talk about, but for the purposes of this discussion, those are them.
Good. Finance and audit. You don't meet this week.
Just-
Okay.
So yeah, nothing, and I think anything that needs to be updated is gonna happen in executive session.
Yes, great. Perfect. Then we will vote and move on to comms. If there's anything this month to discuss for comms.
So we had a small meeting this month because not everyone could join. I know there was a lot that needed to be discussed, like at the, I guess we'll talk about it, Mike, during the executive session. But Paul has agreed to help me out with posting on our social media. And we will be ramping up like a lot of efforts with the marketing campaign as soon as we get that launched. So that's really our report for right now.
Perfect. Thank you. Everybody? Straightforward. Thank you, Paul, for helping out with social media. That is great news. Good to have somebody else with eyes on that. Governance, we did not meet, continue to have some vacancies that we need to kind of just maybe discuss and do some more on outreach for the fall. I'll talk about it in design, I believe we have some questions and discussion items tonight. That Rebecca, I was told you might be taking the lead on this.
Paul is the head of committee, but if we're talking gardening, I can jump in.
So I think the 2 things on the agenda are garden, the first thing are the stone selection and then landscape design.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to put up the landscape design or what do you want to talk about?
Landscape design is in the board package, and I could try to pull it up, but it's just so.
No, sorry. We have a landscape design, we're executing it. I think that would be where we're at. It looks great, it's very exciting. Thank you, Nicole, for your stone. That was very exciting.
That is too.
And I'm gonna come over with 4 people. We're gonna take some more. But it seemed like it was great that we had this done. Was very helpful in terms of us executing a really elegant design with more design than money spent on it. So I think that that's exciting. I'm not sure where we ended up with the gate, but if it looks like the drawing, the gate's gonna look great. It's a new communication situation, and so we're learning to work together, all of us in that way, and I think that that's useful. We do need to choose a stone color, and I still don't know what the color of the house is, but we have some stone colors to choose from. So Paul, do you want to take over the stone color conversation?
And Paul, before you start, I had asked Kyle, if he could maybe pull up the photos, if you like, in the Rosetta stone samples, if you like.
Actually, could you just flip in the board package to page 45?
Yeah, give me a sec.
That is the kind of the direction design for the landscape, so that way everybody could see.
Cool.
Cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very kind of simple but manageable.
Is that the final design, or there are multiple?
It's the final design, but I'm sure there'll be
Okay.
some kind of interpretation as they're building things out.
Yeah.
things might change slightly. So the general direction is that.
Gotcha.
And then as far as the stone on the foundation, there were a couple emails back and forth today. It's page 21 on the.
Done for Charlotte, or it's just done for the other one?
It's for both Murray and Hanratty.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Is this just
Sorry, go up.
Is this just stone for like the parging over like the
Yeah.
whole foundation?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right there. Yep.
Oh, thank you, that's great.
So it's kind of a taupey gray color. And I thought that the Versetta stone that would look the best. Oh, go back where you were to the where all the colors are. There you go. Yep. Was the sterling. So what that it kind of brings in almost all the colors that they have in one kind of design. So it looked the most natural. I think there'll be low contrast with the plants in front of it, so it won't be as like in your face. The other option could be the Mission Point. It reads a little concretey to me, so my recommendation was the sterling.
Could you put I'm sorry, I can't read little words, so could you just put your cursor on the color that you recommend? I don't know.
It's the bottom left. Yes.
That's
The
sterling.
little multicolor doodad.
Point is
Yeah.
number 2.
And just to be clear, this is for both homes, Hanratty and Murray.
They're both the same color for the siding?
Yes.
Then yes.
Got it.
Whatever. Murray.
You know, people think.
This is a synthetic stone product, right?
Yes,
Of
it
some
is.
kind? Yeah, and do we think that the multicolored stone, the one that you're picking is the one that would look the most realistic for the longest period of time?
I think it's the one that'll look the most realistic, and also if they want to change the color of the siding or anything like that, it would work with different colors because it kind of incorporates all the colors that they have available.
That makes sense. Yeah, thank you.
It seemed the most versatile to me.
Okay. Because the down right color, the bottom right color seemed, it seemed like a kind of going color these days, something dark like that.
Yeah, that
But
just
it wouldn't
reads
allow you to
so
change
kind of
it.
like trying to be modern, COVID modern. I think I would go with the multicolor.
Okay, great. Thank you for giving me that term and
I'm trying to think of a politically nice way to say it. So
perfect. Thank you.
Thanks.
So I think I'd like us to vote on it.
I think maybe it was a committee level decision is all it needed to be. I think for the purposes of the board saying that the design committee was making, but I just thought a group discussion might be fun.
Yeah, well, it's a fun part of the project. So you all think that that's a great?
I think it's great.
Yeah, I think it brings a little bit of warmth.
Yeah.
Which is nice, because the
Yeah.
house is very. It's really.
It's great.
Well,
All right.
Paul, thank you very much for your good taste.
oh, thank you.
Thank you, Kyle, for navigating at a moment's notice.
Thank you. It's gonna take us a minute, but the gardens are gonna be a huge asset. For this house.
Really great.
Yeah,
And it'll always keep having to grow too.
yeah. And then when we're driving around, when our kids are driving us around.
Exactly.
What I did.
All right, barring anything else in design, we have gone through the committees as agendas. Have one more public comments period. See no members of the public. We will, into our new business, we have three executive, well, I guess kind of three executive session items tonight. It's written down as four on the board package. But three executive session items tonight, and have two votes to take, within executive session. So we'll go into executive session, discuss those three items, come back out, name votes. Is there anything you have to say in advance about the executive session?
It might be worth noting is I put in the agenda the reason
Oh, yes.
why we're going to.
Yes.
I think that's a
So
good practice.
to discuss, issues that may affect, of real property values and, potential litigation.
Exactly.
And so with that, I will entertain a motion to enter into executive session.
Motion to enter into executive session.
Second.
Any comments or questions? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. To the executive session. On the first matter discussing executive session, there was no vote. On the second matter, we voted in the affirmative. On the third matter, we voted in the affirmative. Unanimous on both counts. If there is no new business, no additional new business, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Anything, all in favor? I have three votes here. Nicole,
Hey.
Margaret, one for Nicole, one for not here with us right now. And we are adjourned.